Okay, but we also do know that since the beginning of the year, we've been able to manage our fiscals, what the various macro indicators have been, but it looks like we now have to come to the things that are real, and we'll speak to a financial analyst, a financial lecturer, a finance lecturer with the University of Ghana Business School. But it's all relating to how we've been downgraded. We're still B3, but this time negative. And the beginning of the year saw some great signs. By January, the first quarter, we were given that positive outlook still at B3. It gave us a certain perspective as far as how investors, as well as getting access to those needed funding in the international market would be. And it looks like that negative could come with some implication. What would those implications be? What also do we need to do? We already do know that the finance minister in his last briefing to Parliament had indicated that Ghana, as it were, has now decided to go downwards our projections for the year to some 2.5% by way of growth for the year. And those have some great implications because of coronavirus. And talking about coronavirus, we need to give you a world perspective, but this is how it looks. Now the epicenter is in North America as always, and the numbers have climbed up. You get to find that over 2.4 million people are infected worldwide, and the total death worldwide now has risen to 165,000 and counting. But so far, the U.S. has been able to conduct some 3.8 million tests. And talking about the U.S. in total, they have in excess a number of infections which have now gotten to 750,000 infected cases. Followed closely by Spain, Italy, and France. And many people are wondering how the U.S. jumped so fast. And if you look at the gap or the difference, you look at the differential between Spain and then the United States, it's a whopping 600,000, if not about just 500,000 as it is, and close to the 600,000 mark than anything. China is still there with just 83,000. It's been wonderful how they've been able to manage the case or the number of cases since the middle of March, or if not the beginning of March. China, remember, instituted a total lockdown on January 23 and decided to ease up just the pressure before the close of the weekend or the beginning of the weekend. That's last week, where Wuhan in the Hubei province, as well as other cities, had been seeing normalcy in their activities. Now, let's go to the map as it is and then tell you where we can have. This is Asia. China is there, and then you can have Wuhan, Shanghai, as well as other areas. But it's Taiwan that's been able to manage its case so well, as well as Vietnam. And they've been able to manage the cases in such a way that even some of those countries have not seen deaths. It's wonderful how they've been able to do that. India, though, is still there with a number of cases being recorded. But it's how that will affect the other continents of the world that became the talk of the world the beginning of February. Because at the time of the lockdown, January 23, in China, a number of countries in Europe, as well as the rest of the world, decided to evacuate their citizens. And according to the scientific community, it's one of the reasons why the disease or coronavirus spread to their respective countries. Now, let's take you to Europe before we come to Africa, and you will find the trend of the cases as it were. France is still there. We have Italy. We still have a number of cases in Austria, the Czech Republic, Greece, and then a number of the countries dominating Europe. And all these have had some great influences on the cases and how they've been managed. Spain is still there. You'll find Russia, Brazil is in Latin or South America, and then also you have Belgium in mainstream Europe, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Portugal, you have Ireland, and then you get to find that the UK is still grappling with a number of cases. But look, over the last 2-3 days, we're told that the cases have been flattening in the UK, but they're still high in the numbers. And if you look at the numbers, as far as the related infections are, it looks like they need to double up as far as the treatment is concerned. 16,000 deaths of fatalities recorded in the United Kingdom out of 121,000 cases of infections. Charlie. Let's come to Africa. You go to Africa, and you find that all the countries there on the continent almost now are not left out as far as the infections are. So you come to Tunisia, but it's just one of many countries. Initially started in Egypt, then it spread to the rest of the northern African countries. But let's come to Ghana and find what the Ghanaian situation is. And even though they give the sports as it is, we do know that now at least we have in at least 10 regions out of the 16 that we do have. And it's increasing by the day, not an alarming rate. And it's for this reason why the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, decided to lift the lockdown for each and every Ghanaian to observe the needed guidelines of wearing masks in their day-to-day activities, not to gather around because there are events, etc. There's still bans on schooling across all sections of the education ladder. Funeral activities have been banned. Weddings, if you want to get married, you do one-on-one with your pastor on Zoom. It will help you in Ghana because it's still off limits. And so we're still observing all that. So that's the situation. Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Nigeria is up there, Benin, and that's the situation we find ourselves. Yeah. All right. Get all the latest updates as far as the coronavirus infection trend is. The Johns Hopkins satellite website is available 24/7. You get real-time data as to what you need to do. But when it comes to news, relevant news, great content provided for you, myjoyonline.com is available. And we do have our various social media handles pages. Facebook, Joy News on TV, at Joy News on TV is our Twitter handle. You can also get us all the latest update if you want to give us more videos, audios, as you watch My Joy Online TV, which is our official YouTube channel. We have to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to a finance lecturer, an expert who has been watching the industry, is a regular on the show, Dr. Lord Mensah, a senior lecturer with the finance department of the University of Ghana, to look at that rating now being downgraded to negative, but still a B3. What are the implications amid the last briefing by the finance minister to Parliament as to the current state and projection of Ghana's economy for the year 2020? Do stay with us. We'll be right back.